live. And then I guess we'll just wait for people to pop in. I feel like more things happened in entertainment than YouTube this week.
Oh, yeah.
Like way more people. Oh, I think I can go onto my phone and go to, okay. Hey, hey. All right. Sweet. Hey, Jessica.
No, wait, hold on. Do I see anything?
Hey, y'all. Come on in. We're going to wait for some more people to trickle on in. But I can tell you this has been a struggle trying to get, hey, Jessica, I'm going to get this together.
Oh, wait. Okay, turn the volume off.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's hot.
Yes, reality, both of us together.
Oh, I'm actually on the wrong account. Okay, hold on.
Hey, you guys.
Close this.
Oh no, all of your 4 wisdom teeth taken out? That does not sound like fun at all. I'm human. Hi. We are going to have fun tonight. Hi, son. Miles said he was going to come in, say hi, and leave.
Hi.
Jessica, yes, I did. I used Jackie's. Actually, I used 2 different palettes, but I used mostly Jackie's palette for this. And I also used a Morphe palette.
Okay. I actually used the, what was it? Oh my God. It's the Urban Decay. Oh God. It just went out of my head.
Is it
Urban
a
Decay?
palette?
No, it was like one of the bronzy ones that they made, like, I think it was 2017.
Okay.
That everybody loved. And then I just put Pat McGrath in the middle.
There you go. You can't go wrong with Auntie Pat.
Yeah.
Hey,
what is it? Bronze. What palette? That's crazy. I can't remember what the palette name is now.
It'll come to you in the middle of what you're talking about, and then you're like, oh, I remember.
Yes.
Whenever I do a look, just know that Jackie Ayanna is going to be like on my eyes. It's gonna.
Yes.
It's definitely.
She's been in my last 2 looks, in my last 2 videos. Yeah. I've used Jackie palette.
That's the best one.
Stunning.
Yeah, it's literally the best palette. You guys are my friends, Mug.
Thank you.
I like to pretend that I'm fancy.
Thank you, Malika. Thank you. It's just a lip gloss from ColourPop. Let me see. I think it's called, oh God. I can't tell which one it's called. I think I rubbed it off. Sorry, I'll look it up. They're so cheap. Like the whole, I don't know if you've ever seen, like the whole tube just like disappears. Like it all rubs off.
It is. Yes. I need to put on a lip color today, but whatever. So
yeah.
All right. So let's get started. Hi, you guys. My name is Sharita, and I have a very, very special guest. This is my friend Dionne. Me and Dionne have been friends, gosh, it seems like forever. But the crazy thing is we've never met each other in real life.
No, we haven't. That is the crazy part.
And now I'm not sure if that's going to happen because I can't leave the country.
Right. And COVID is not, I'm not traveling to California anytime soon.
Nope, not happening.
Yeah, so
Not
unfortunately, yeah, we won't meet for a while, but we've been friends for years, which is
yeah,
kind of crazy.
yeah.
Especially in YouTube years, like that's a lot.
Right.
You you encouraged me to start my channel like 2 years ago, but hey, I'm here now.
You know what? Yes. Hi, Leah. Yes, you made your channel, so make sure you guys all go and subscribe to Dionne's channel if you're not subscribed already, because she makes great content, like
Thank you.
great content. So, I was thinking, so I really enjoyed the live that I did last week, and Dionne said, you know, you should do lives, but invite people on. And I was like, all right, perfect. So here we are. And the first thing that I really want to talk about is, I know not too much happened in the YouTube world, but I really wanted to talk about Jeffree Star, of course, but how he's now using, or maybe it's the other way around, but using Meg Thee Stallion's hairdresser, Jonathan, as, you know, just like as another prop. And
Yeah.
And I just find it frustrating on both ends. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I was kind of surprised to see that, to be honest, because I think he had a makeup, a hairstylist already that was a person of color. He wasn't black, but I think he was Hispanic or Latinx. So I was kind of surprised to see this guy all of a sudden pop up on on Instagram, posting Jeffree and doing his hair. And it was so random. Like it just seemed so random out of nowhere, like that he plucked up this guy to all of
Right.
a sudden be his hairdresser when he already had a dedicated hairdresser. So that's why to me, it seemed a little suspicious.
Right.
Yeah, like why now? Is this the guy that he's decided to use?
Right. And then
Yeah.
on the flip side, why is Jonathan okay with being Jeffree Star's hairstylist?
Well,
And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, well, I would do Jeffree Star's hair for $20,000, or, and I mean, and who even knows if that number is true?
I feel like it's not. Like I just feel like it's not. First of all, like he has a link to the hair and I clicked on it and it's synthetic hair. So
God.
I don't see where $20,000 is coming in unless it's for the whole shoot, because it looks like they're doing different looks.
Mm-hmm.
But the hair itself is not even like it's not human hair. You know what I mean? It's just synthetic hair. So I don't see where this $20,000 is coming from that he keeps throwing out. I feel like there's something else going on. Like I don't know, but that figure just sounds really suspicious to me.
Very made up.
Yeah.
Very made up. And
yes.
yeah, and the fact that everybody, I mean, not everybody, a lot of people are upset with Jonathan, but then you have some people that are just like, go get your bag and, you know, like get your money. But I think in the long run, he's going to lose out on way more money than he's going to gain, because people are going to see that he's willing to sell his soul to the literal devil over $20,000 when he could have just been like, you know what, I don't want to do your hair, and just left it at that. And yeah, exactly, Tay. Like all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
And you can see it in his in the comments, like in the replies. People are saying they unfollow. People say they don't respect him. Saying like, oh, not all money is good money. So it's not even like it's working for him, this stunt. Like he keeps saying, like he posted a he made another post saying like, oh, I thought someone who didn't make $20,000 said something.
Oh gosh.
Like, yeah, like, and so people are just tearing him up. Like, it doesn't matter what the money is. Like, look at what you're doing. Look at who you're associating yourself with. Like we're trying to tell you, it's not about the money, and like you're making yourself look foolish at this point.
Yeah.
And there was another hairstylist that I guess it was Nicki Minaj's hairstylist that posted like, you know, kind of taking jabs at him, and he reposted that, and it's not looking good. It's really not looking good. Like
not either one of them.
No. Like first you do 6'9" and now you're doing Jeffree. Like
right.
Like now you just look like a clown. Like you're a literal clown. Like you will take anybody's money
Absolutely.
For
Anybody's.
what? For what?
Like those are the kind of people that would literally kill for money. Just do anything for money. And it's just like, you know, sometimes your bill can be paid late. Like, I don't know what else to say. Hey, AR.
Yeah.
Like, I just
Oh,
don't understand why people are just so hell bent on like, oh, I can make this much money this fast. Oh, okay. And I know I say 6-9 envelope. I know I say all the time, when you see me being problematic, mind your business. But I never bring myself to be very problematic enough to where I can make that kind of money. And so,
right. And I think it takes a certain type of person to be okay with that.
yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, like I said, he already took 6ix9ine's money, so he clearly does not discriminate. And I'm sure he's not the first person that Jeffree called. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of really good black hairstyles, especially on Instagram. Everyone's showcasing their talents there. I'm sure he probably had to ask a few people because it doesn't seem like everybody is willing to jump at the chance to work with him anymore.
Right.
And it just, I guess I'm so tired of this man using black people as props. Like, I'm so sick of it. And I'm sick of the ones that are lined up to do it.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Like, he had no problem getting this guy who's now like putting these cheap looking wigs on him, and like,
it's not even good quality.
It's just regular hair. Like, and here's the thing, and when I did click on it, the wig that Jeffree is wearing, it's actually like, it looks like Brazilian texture. So I'm like,
right.
Why are you putting that texture of hair on a white person? Like, why wouldn't you? Like, I'm so confused. Like, because he only knows how to work with that style of hair, that's what he's putting on him.
Right.
So that's why the wigs aren't looking right, because the texture is too thick. It's not meant for his.
Right.
It's not meant for him. Like,
not at all.
I'm so confused. Like, I don't know. I just figured that the guy would have done a better job. But when I was scrolling through the hairs, like the hair company's page, it was all like, yeah, it was like Brazilian texture, yaki texture, kinky coily. There was a few straight ones, but they weren't like straight. You know what I mean? They weren't like, yeah. Yeah, they weren't straight. So yeah, those, and if that's the only wigs that he works with, it seems odd to me that Jeffree would pick somebody knowing like
in anybody. Like you said, the first person to say yes.
Yeah, it's like, do you have wigs for white people? Oh, okay, doesn't matter. Okay, I'll still wear it. Like, but if I see him in a kinky coily wig, I'm gonna snap.
I will blow up the world personally.
I will literally snap.
But I feel like he would do something like that.
I do too.
Just to get people talking or whatever. But one of the things that really, really bothers me is this is just another way for people to be like, see, Jeffree is not racist. He has a black person doing his hair. And it's like, you can be racist and still have black people surrounding you. You can be racist and have a black child.
Just black spouse.
Yes.
Like, people don't understand. You can still make money off black people, employ black people, take black people's money.
Absolutely.
Like,
give
it
black
doesn't.
people money.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything if you. And here's the thing that I think people are skipping over the fact, like, this man still uses racial slurs in his day-to-day life.
Right.
So it's like, I'm sick of this. Like, oh, but he employs black people. Okay, but behind the scenes, like, people are hearing this.
Yeah.
So why is this okay? Like, I don't care about the money. The fact is, he's still running around doing this, and people have said it over and over and over. Even Tab in his video, like just a few months ago, said he's still saying it. He saw him in February. So
right. You can't tell me that man does not say racial slurs daily. Like,
he has
yawns and is like, N-word, like that. Like, that's how he starts his day. Like,
yeah, pretty much. And it's frustrating. I think it's frustrating. That video that he did I guess it was a week ago. It was last Friday.
Yeah.
I I think that was for his stance. Like, clearly that was not for us.
No.
Right? Like, because he didn't apologize, didn't take accountability. That was for them to just say, hey, he addressed it, let's move on.
Yes.
He addressed it. Like, what more do you want? He said BLM. What more do you want? Like,
those people,
everybody needs to
racist as him.
And they just want to feel happy with their racist makeup. Like, they just want to say, yay, the next palette that comes out, I can buy it, because he knows that, you know, people would not buy his palette if there was all this controversy still surrounding him, right? Because then they're going to get backlash. People just don't want to deal with it. So as long as he gives the bare minimum, they can hold on to that and say, okay, I'm going to buy his stuff because I'm going to support him. So
exactly. Anna said Jeffree's gonna wear an afro for Black History Month. I'm surprised he hasn't already.
I'm actually surprised too. I mean, he's done the. Hey, Tanisha. He's done the cornrows, so I mean, it's coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
coming.
It's coming.
I'm sure it's coming.
Oh, it's definitely coming. And I hate when people say things like, "Oh my gosh, can you believe he's wearing cornrows?" when it's specifically meant to be like worn, like, you know, for a wig. But then, okay, don't get mad at that. Get mad at the actual cornrows that he wears out that are like down to his ankles, like where he's definitely like biting off of Black women. Get mad at things like that. Don't get mad at the stupid things, because then it negates every other, like, there are so many different reasons to hate Jeff.
I know.
Like,
I know. Like, the hair, I don't care. Like, that's a battle. I would rather just not. I'll concede to that. Yeah. If he wants to wear dreads, if he wants to wear, like, I don't care. Like, let's just get back to the part where you're calling people gorillas. Like, can we just get, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm willing to give him a few passes here for us to, like, focus on what's really serious.
Exactly.
Is his, like, constant anti-Black behavior. I mean, yeah, and throw the cornrows on top of that, sure. But at this point, I don't know. I feel like he's running out of ideas, and he's getting desperate, because you can only use shock as a marketing tool for so long. Like, it's been 4 years. 4 years of this. So, I mean, people just get fatigued. Like, you can't shock people every 3 months. Like, it wears off. It wears very, very thin. So
it does.
I don't know. I feel like he's at a place where he's getting a little bit, he's getting worried. I mean, the pictures that I've seen that he's been posting, that he's doing photo shoots and he's buying wigs, and like all this stuff is going on. And it's like, okay, you just need attention, because you know that everyone is not happy right now. He turned off the likes to dislikes on his video.
But it was at like 50% before he turned it off.
It was higher.
Was it?
Yeah, I heard that it was actually super close. Like, he had like 490 likes and like 420 dislikes.
Okay.
So he knew it was like, it was about to overtake. Yeah, it was about to it was gonna surpass the likes, and I think his ego couldn't handle that. So
well, I mean, he turned off the comments within the first hour. You know, and the crazy, I don't know when he sat there and was just like, "Oh, hold me accountable." And the second somebody was like, "I'm holding you accountable. You shouldn't have done this in your video," comments were gone.
I don't know if you saw, some people had some screen grabs, just a few, but they were all just saying, "Hey, what about this? What, like, just asking him questions about different things, about Tati, about Jackie, about Shayla, like, just bringing up everything, saying, okay, you want us to hold you accountable. What about all these things?" And within an hour, because by the time I watched the video, the comments were already gone.
Okay.
And I think I was maybe an hour behind. So it was quick.
Yeah.
Like, it was super, super quick that he turned off comments and is trying to distance himself from it.
Right.
But, yeah, it was not the move. I think we're seeing a shift, definitely.
Yeah, the tides are changing. And number one, like, I never thought this day would come.
I know.
But I always thought it would be like hard hitting, where somebody just like came out with receipts and this and that. But actually, I mean, I feel like I'm liking this a lot better, because we're literally just watching him crumble. We're like slowly, fold under the pressure.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, not sorry. But
yeah, no, I thought it too. I thought it'd be some big explosion. Someone would have a recording, but he's too smart for that. So
yeah, and that's he's not a stupid man.
Yeah, he's not gonna get caught slipping very easily, like at all.
No. Nope.
And so, you know, he knows who to say what around, and
right,
you aren't gonna catch him that way. So I think that this was a roundabout way, and it's kind of funny to me because I think if he hadn't done the palette with Shane, I don't know if this would have happened.
I honestly don't think it would have happened.
I don't think it would have happened. I think he would have just been in his own corner, like still snapping at people.
Right.
But it would, like, nobody would be investigating him, because it wasn't until Shane decided to, you know, put out that statement. I mean, yeah, I was watching D'Angelo's video. That is amazing.
Okay.
Everybody needs to go and watch.
Please, everybody go watch. It is the best 1 hour and 13 minutes and 35 seconds
yes.
you will spend in your life. That video, oh my gosh. And if you're still a Shane fan or supporter after that, honestly, you just can't be helped.
Yeah, you just want to, like, problematic,
yeah,
disgusting people. Like, that's just what it is, because there's no way around getting around it. And that's what I like, that he did it kind of in a comprehensive manner, because I think, like he said, the way that Shane's been able to get away with it is because it's always been in pieces and chunks. Mm-hmm. Every 2 years, like, one thing happens and he can overcome that, and then one thing happens and he can overcome that. But when it's like all three things line up at the same time, he couldn't overcome all three together at the same time.
And he doesn't know what to do, because he's been getting away with it for so long. But you're right. If Jeffree would have just stopped at that first docuseries, Jeffree would have been fine.
He would have been fine, but here's the thing. And I think I said this in my first video, but he wants world domination. Like, this YouTube stuff is not what he wants. He wants global domination. Like, he still has that dumb idea in his head that he's gonna be the next Lady Gaga, which what? Like, his music. Okay, like, I don't know what Akon was smoking. Like, I have, like, my respect for Akon, like, literally deteriorated after, like, watching those clips. Like, but that's what he wanted. So when he came to YouTube, like, he already had a plan of how he was gonna, you know, kind of climb to a certain height. So having that one, you know, get out of jail free card from Shane, he just saw it as an opportunity to, like, to have his dreams met. He didn't think of, dodge that bullet, let me just, like, you know, stay over here in my lane because I got a new lease on life. Let's remember, his brand was tanking. Like, he was in the toilet after that video came out of him calling people the N-word, and, like, nobody, Laura Lee, Manny, they stopped being friends with him. Nikki had already stopped being friends with him. Nobody was hanging out with him. His brand was not doing well. Like, he was not in a good position in the community. He had no friends left. His brand was just, it's mediocre, right? Like, people buy it as merch. People don't buy it as like, you know, what do they call it? Like, staples in their kits, right? Unless they're stands. But regular folks like us, like, we're not going hard over that makeup, right? So he realized, like, he could only tap that market so much. He needed bigger. He needed more people. He needed more eyes. He needed, you know, a bigger, wider audience. So when he saw Shane
was perfect for that, because Shane, who has, well, not the biggest, but one of the biggest, you know, audiences out there. And you know what? No, Mallory, you're right. He wants skincare. He always says, when I quit music. And I don't believe him when he says that. I think he would
quit anything.
Rejected from music.
Listen,
he didn't quit. Like,
That stuff.
honestly, how are you the next? I mean, like Akon said it himself, the next Lady Gaga, and he somehow messed that up.
Because it's
Just, like,
terrible.
now he wants to try to get back to that level, and it's just like, nope. Whatever he has coming out in August, it's probably going to be foundations, because he's got eyeshadows, he's got lipsticks, he's got highlighters, he's got concealers. So what's next? Foundation,
Foundation, yeah.
So people
Skincare.
like, oh, I did a full face of using Jeffree Star, so they can do I mean, if he were really smart, but also he probably didn't see this coming, but he would have been doing bronzers, because bronzers are what's in right now, especially for deeper skin. Hi, Xavier. No worries.
Hey.
Like,
Yeah.
deeper skin, because Makeup Revolution just came out with some, which I have being shipped to me currently.
Nice.
And then who else?
I saw one Jackie posted yesterday. Not Jackie. Jackie had in her video from a couple days ago. I'm trying to remember the company, if I can remember. What is it called? But it's an indie brand. But she said that they are her favorite bronzer, and that they even worked on her sister, who's like a shade darker than her.
Right.
So yeah, and I went on their page, and they just have like a lot of bronzers, and a lot of deeper colors.
Right.
And that's the direction to go in if you're smart.
Right. Like Neon MUA. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait.
I know. I'm so excited. I want the one that's meant for his skin tone, because it's so beautiful. I mean, that red, oh my god, it's so gorgeous. But I'll probably get the one for my skin tone.
Right.
He did the swatches, and I was like, okay, I gotta calm down. Yeah. It's not for me, but it's so gorgeous. Like, he really, really, and even he said the way he chose the names, because he wanted it to sound positive, not, he said even the language around makeup is very, I don't know, it's very discriminatory, like how light is fair, and things like that he wanted to change that terminology. And I thought that's really taking into account, like what our needs are. Right. And of course he would never do something like that. He would never, ever.
I mean, look at the colors of his eyeshadows. Like, Jeffree could and would never, but if he were smart, he'd do bronzers. I mean, you know what? And he might, and I might, be putting my foot in my mouth. But I doubt it.
I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it. I and it's funny, because I always felt like his brand was like kind of like gimmicky. Like, because when he had the big fat highlighters that were, like the size of my palm, even that was gimmicky. Because people were like, how am I going to use all this? And then he had like black highlighters, red highlighters, like all this dumb stuff that just seemed like it seemed very childish to me. What he had going on. And then when he tried to, once he did the palettes, he kind of transition out of that like kitty makeup, but it just still seems very gimmicky. All the packaging is always something like not practical, that doesn't fit in a drawer, that you can't travel with. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just stuff meant to sit, I guess, on your dresser or like your makeup table. But at the same time,
that's just
how
like,
many palettes are you gonna buy?
Like his blue blood was like casket shaped, and it's just like, I don't know.
Like, and then the conspiracy had like the pyramid. Like, how are you supposed to stack that? Like, I don't know. None of it seems practical. It's all just gimmicks, which is fine. But I don't know. I was just thinking about how if they hadn't been so greedy to do that palette collab, and even before that, create the drama with James Charles, like, none of this would have happened.
No.
Literally none of this.
He would be fine.
He would be fine. They could have made a palette. It wouldn't have sold what it did, but he didn't want that, right? Like, he needed to break the internet and have it be like the highest sold, whatever.
Right. Just like people are now saying that his concealers that were stolen, like, it wasn't like 2.5 million worth of whatever. It was like $10,000 worth of merch or whatever that was paid.
Yes. And I remember, I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember when that happened. Like us, right? The ones who know better, we're questioning it and saying like,
right.
did this happen? Like, did this really happen? Right? Like, there's so many holes in the story, and you know, certain websites like Guru Gossiper, which I like to read, you know, of course, they were really poking holes in it. And as I was reading, I was starting to realize, like, wait a minute, like these people are really digging in, right? And they're because as they like to do, and they'll investigate things. And so I started to really doubt his story, right? But I mean, of course, the payroll channels would never.
Yeah, you can't question anything. You take whatever he says, you take it at face value. You're not allowed to question it, because if you question it, you're a hater. You can't.
You're jealous.
Yeah, you literally.
You're bitter.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're everything under the sun except for, why can't I just question it, because it just doesn't seem like it's reputable. Like, you know,
Right.
People want to ask for the full story when a Black man gets shot and killed by the cops. They want to know the whole story then, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like Jeffree, nope, we're just gonna believe it. We're gonna believe everything.
Take his word.
We're just gonna take his word.
Which is, I mean, and even I'm glad that D'Angelo in his first video, or his Jeffree video, I'm glad that he actually took the time to look into it, because it's been so much time now that there would be evidence of an investigation. There would be, you know, a police record. There would, you know what I mean? There'd be police statements. There would be some things available publicly, some information publicly, because at the time people kept saying, well, the FBI is involved, so he can't say anything. Don't question him because the FBI is involved. It's top secret. And it's like, are you thinking straight? If the FBI was involved, how could he make a video? Right? If there's a secret investigation, why is he making a video? Like the A and B they don't connect with these people. Like the math is not mathing. They just say one thing and they run with it, and they don't like actually think in real life what actually happens in reality. Like, yeah, if it is an ongoing investigation, then he would not be allowed to talk about it, period. Like, whatever. At all. And the fact that, you know, even the police didn't have any records whatsoever, and there was no statement, there was nobody to even contact.
Yeah, that sounds very what was Detective Payne that Sanders said?
Detective Payne, who retired.
Very Detective Payne-ish, like.
And he retired from the. Like. Just, I don't understand why. Okay, I do know why with Jeffree. I think honestly, Jeffree, like Trump, he's a compulsive liar that doesn't know how to stop. Like, once he gets going in a lie, I think he doesn't realize how to pull it back.
Right.
And then because he'll do things and say things when there's clear evidence.
I've never had a drink in my life. Right? Because there's a video of you literally taking a shot of
pouring shots, drinking shots,
right?
Drinking, and even drinking last year at the Louis Vuitton or whatever store he was at, drinking champagne. Right. Like, what? Why would you lie about things that we can check? I've never been to jail. I've never threatened anybody.
I've never been arrested. Like, oh my, okay, but there's no evidence. Like, you've even said it, and the other thing is, okay. Say he has never been to jail. Let's say he's never been to jail.
Sure.
Okay, but he lied about it back then and said, oh yeah, I've been to jail 3 times. Okay, so again, either you lied then or you're lying now. But you're lying either way. You are a liar. You're a lying liar.
Either way.
Either way. It doesn't
Either way.
It doesn't
literally doesn't matter.
Literally
doesn't matter. Like, either way, you're lying. Like, I don't know how to explain why that doesn't matter. Because I've seen, and I've even seen some of these payroll channels, like twisting themselves into pretzels to like say, well, he was lying then, but he's not lying now. So that means that he's changed because today he's telling the truth. Okay. Like I Those are the ones you just have to move on from those people. Like, and even, you know, I'll get tweets saying, hey, I just need some proof. I need some evidence. No, I just move on. No, we're not. You're not interested, right? Like it's been there. It's been, you know, the evidence is there. Google is free.
Right.
If you're asking me to prove why the video that I posted is not true, like I'm not gonna help you with that. Like,
no, because I said what I said, and it's out
and
there.
I meant what I said. There's nothing to explain. You know, I'm really tired of the fact that he sucks up so much energy. Because even when I went on Instagram, when I was looking up the wigs, and I was just looking at other people, right? Like Desi Perkins is starting sunglasses.
Okay.
And she had that great, I don't know if you saw, she had a collab maybe 2 years ago with Key sunglasses. And she had these really nice, like rose gold sunglasses. And then they expanded it and she made a whole line. I think she even made some men's glasses as well. So she decided what she wants to do, start her first brand, is sunglasses. And they're really cute. They're all different styles and they're super cute. And I was like, why aren't we showing this? Like, this is exciting to me. Like, I want to buy, I want to know how much they cost. I want to know, like, where can I get them? Like, why are we focusing on this, like, creature sucking up all the energy when, like, other stuff's out? Jackie's coming out with candles.
Yes.
Sorry, Jackie. I love Jackie.
But you know what? Like, it makes sense when she talks about how, like, when people walk into her house and, you know, they smell and blah, blah, blah. But honestly, I mean, I'm just being a hater. Like, who bought, like, Jeffree Star's black highlighter because I'm definitely going to buy one of Jackie's candles, you know?
For sure. And that's what I mean. I'm just being a hater. Okay? Because people love it. And if she likes it, I love it. But this is what I want. I want to see this, though. I want to see all the candles. Tell me what they smell like. Send them out. Like, do reviews. Like, I want this stuff to be at the top, right? Like, when I click into YouTube on my homepage, that's the stuff I want to see. That's what I want to see people talking about. This, like, not him in a cheap, you know, Brazilian wig. Like, I just...
That hasn't even been plucked.
Did you see when it was plucked?
No.
Okay, no. I'm gonna send you. There is, like, it looks like the band is so visible, which it is, but even when it's plucked, because the hairs are too thick, right? Yeah. Like, it's like this texture of hair. They're so thick, they're literally, like, sticking out, like because it's not natural to his face. Yeah. So it looks like a band with, like,
oh no.
Yeah, it's pretty yeah. It's
everybody, Miss Davis, everybody hated the couch. Literally everybody hated the couch.
Oh God, that couch. That couch is, like, to me, it reminds me of, like, everybody's, like, Caribbean grandma has one of those couches. Like, if you have one, she's got one of those. And if you zoom in really close, there's actually palm trees and stuff on it. If you ever, like, go to a Caribbean granny's house. Yeah, and they've all got that lovely velvety couch, right? And that's what it reminded me of. Just, like, a really tacky, corny couch. Right. But you know, and I thought that it was interesting, even the setup, and I'm mad that I didn't put this in my video because I was thinking about it, but it was deliberate, right? Like, the couch, even the way it was, like, it was a sectional, it was pushed back. Yeah. You know, he made himself look very small. He's in a robe with little socks, but he had to make sure that they weren't just regular socks, right? Oh no, they were the Louis Vuitton. They were Louis Vuitton. Oh yeah, and apparently they're mink, and a lot of people were upset about that. You know, the animal people were pissed because apparently they're mink. So of course he had to have his little mink socks on, but again, like, his bio says he's 6 foot, 6'1". So for him to get a couch that was dwarfing him, he really set that up on purpose. Absolutely. Because every other video that he's done, it's always been a mid shot, head, and just shoulders, like mid chest. That's it. And it's always been, the focus has been on, like, very minimal makeup and his face. Yeah. And I guess he decided, like, I don't know if you notice his body language in this one was very aggressive. He was very angry. He was pointing his finger. We all have to take accountability.
Yeah.
What, me? The audience? The audience has to take accountability for following you? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why are we getting scolded right now?
Right.
Like, he was very
it's
aggressive.
Your fault that you followed me.
You all wanted drama. Everyone needs to get it right. Like, he was very, it was very calculated, but he was very agitated, and maybe that's why they pulled out from his face, because you can't see that angry brow bone as well.
I was gonna say brow what? Because he ain't got
that protruding brow bone. You can't see it, but you can definitely see the hands are very like very, very, very aggressive. And his tone, I noticed from having to listen to his videos to get the clips. Literally, I needed a break because his voice, I just, like, I noticed the difference in the other ones where he was trying, where he was like, you know, I'm really, I to the core of my being, I apologize. I don't even know who that is. And then this one was like, we all have to take accountability for all this drama. I was like,
and you're just like,
what happened? What happened? 2 years ago, it was, I'm never going to do this again, guys. I'm weak. No, last year he said, I'm not going to do this again. I'm weak. I make mistakes. This one was.
Yeah. But he also said that he still makes mistakes.
He did, but it was more like,
I'm human. And then I hated how he kept going, of course I am, or of course I do. Like, what?
No.
As if it's normal.
Yes, that's what he made it sound like. It's normal to snap on people. It's normal to call people, right? Racial slurs. It's very normal to not have composure at 35 years old.
Right.
It's very, to still be childish, throwing tantrums, plotting on people, like all kinds of just dumb stuff. And the thing is, he's saying that like, well, of course everybody does that. No, some of us actually go and get therapy. Right. Some of us like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like we figure out other ways, other coping skills. Like the answer isn't always to behave like that. And it's weird to me that that's his excuse. And like, just take it or leave it.
Yeah. And at what age? Because I'm not saying that childhood trauma is not a thing. And I'm not saying that people suffer from, whatever happened in their childhood. But at what age do you go, I can no longer blame this on what happened in my childhood? At what age do you say that? Like, I mean, I can expect like a 21, 22-year-old to, act this type of way because, you're just getting thrown into the wolves, you graduate from high school, then you don't know what to do and they expect you to go to college, or they expect this, they expect that. But at 34 years old, you're still saying the same thing over and over and over. And it's just like, at what age do you go, okay, this obviously isn't working, so maybe I should try therapy, or maybe I should try something different. And it's just like, at what age? All I know is I don't know exactly what age, but I just know that 34 is too old to be acting like that.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what age it is, but I don't think you can use age as an excuse at his point, at his age.
Right.
He has to stop using that as an excuse, because I notice he keeps saying the same things. Yeah. But he does the same things and he's not interested. And I mean, let's be real. He has no incentive to change, because he knows that the people who follow him and care about him, they love it. Yeah. They see themselves in him. They like that. They like that he gets to say what he wants to do and do what he wants to do. And they want him to continue that, because they get to vicariously do the same thing. Yeah. Right. He hasn't lost enough.
He hasn't lost enough to change.
Oh, no. And I think Morphe, even the Morphe thing, I think Morphe is huge. I think he's playing it off of. Morphe is huge. Yeah. Because Morphe is the only physical store that he's able to get his stuff in without, like he's in Sephora and he's in Ulta, but through Morphe, right? Like, right. Sephora doesn't want his garbage. Like, you know what I mean? So now him not being in Morphe is huge, because he bragged on Morphe. He was talking about how they opened 50 stores and da-da-da-da. But let's back up. Like, remember when he was opening stores? The only time he opened stores was when he was with Shane.
Right.
Every other store opening was Jacqueline or it was James.
Yeah.
When it opened in Toronto, I think in September or October, James came, not him. And that was just before the conspiracy palette. So he's making it sound like he's going around the world opening all these stores. He was not. He was not the draw for Morphe.
Yeah.
So like, you know, and he knew that the only way that he would get the audience that he wanted was if he brought Shane. So if you notice the openings that he did do, he was either with somebody or
it was never.
I think it was Mitchell was like the one in London. I think he was there with him and somebody else. But it wasn't him going around opening all these stores. It was actually James. And when James opened the store it's actually not in Toronto. It's an hour away in a suburb, in a mall in the suburbs. And when I saw that picture of the mall, I don't know if you can understand how big this mall is. He had all 3 floors. He had 2 floors plus just the front and people outside the mall. Like there was thousands and thousands of kids. And if it was Jeffree, I really don't think it would have been the same crowd. Like I was even shocked when I saw, because the night before I saw they were saying that it was a lottery. So I didn't think that it would be that many people because I didn't know how they were setting it up. Like the way they had it, it sounded like you could get these tickets and then you would wait in this area. But because there was just those people, everyone else just showed up.
Right.
So the mall the mall just had to figure out like where to put everybody because they just wanted to see him. Like they weren't going to get in, but they just wanted to see him. So they were like around the store, a floor down, all the way underneath. And he came out to the rail and just like said hi to everybody. And he was in shock. And like, that's what Jeffree really wanted. That's what he wants, right? When he went to, I don't know if you remember when he went to London, right? It shut down traffic for 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Getting out of the mall because that like there were so many cars. People couldn't leave. They couldn't get in. They couldn't get out because so many kids showed up to see James. And I think he felt slightly jealous of that because it was like, it actually made the news because they were like, I don't like what's going on downtown. Like the whole downtown is shut down, and this kid from YouTube that like no one's ever heard of, but clearly like clearly he's like like an international celebrity, but like grown-ups don't know who he is. So it's like that was when James really started to get to that level that Jeffree wants, right? Like that international Lady Gaga.
That's exactly level. But listen, he stopped his own bag. Again, nobody will probably ever know why Akon dropped him, like the real reason. But
because I heard people say it's because he went to jail, but Lady Gaga's still here, so like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like
jail don't mean nothing to these people. Jail don't mean nothing to these people.
And she was in that contract for a while. Like she didn't get out of it for years. Like she stayed with Akon for a long time. Like I remember even when he got out of jail, he was saying like that was the single most like best business decision he ever made because he was making money off her for like 5-6 years after he signed her. And he wasn't even making music anymore. And he said like that was his number one, like absolutely best thing he ever did.
And he really wanted Jeffree to be that next person. Like I don't know. Maybe Jeffree just has a good mouthpiece because I'm trying to figure out. I mean, even watching, because I know you put clips of him, in concert, and even watching that, I'm just like, what about him on stage is marketable? Like that's what I want. Like honestly, I'd be like, like it was appealing. Not the voice. He doesn't have a good singing voice. Not the dancing. Not the
nothing. The stage presence.
Yeah.
And even the lyric, like I picked the most ridiculous lyrics, but like there's really like more disgusting lyrics. Right. So that's even where I thought, like, how would this be marketable? This can't even be played on the radio. I don't understand. Like he'd have to rewrite his entire catalog. Like none of this is marketable outside of this little arena.
Sorry. I have annoying friends.
I turned off notifications though. But yeah, like I chose the funniest clip, but there was really weirder ones, and there's like, you know, him on stage kicking people in the face and like doing like really dumb, weird, offensive things that I'm thinking I don't see it. Like I think maybe what Akon was looking at was because he was the #1 person on MySpace and he was thinking maybe he could transition, but like I don't know. I think there was just too much dark stuff there.
Yeah.
To make that like another. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't.
Xavier said he's so lanky. He gives me Slender Man vibes. But he's not wrong. Okay.
No, he does.
So this is just me being this petty gymnast person. So when he was in the pool and he like lifted that long, disgusting leg up out of the pool, and his leg, like, okay, his leg wasn't even straight. And I know to some people that doesn't matter, but I'm like, if your leg is like that long, like at least like make your leg straight, make it look pretty and elegant, like it looked like a claw. And I was just, it drives me insane. And that's just like the cheerleader gymnast inside of me. But that leg, when it came out of the water, I was just like, oh, that is awful. Ugh.
Tanisha, no.
For me, yes.
Not me. Listen, and even the knock knees, we were talking about that earlier. He's very malnutrition, and not to like, you know, get into his personal life, but I mean,
that you were telling me about? There was a person who was talking about Jeffree Star and like how he was like a nutritionist.
Yes, the vegan. I think it's the oh gosh, what's her name? I think there's a lady. She's a vegan channel, but she does reactions as well.
Yeah.
So someone asked her to do like Jeffree's to do one on Jeffree. I don't know if it was like what he was eating. Like he was doing something where he was eating. And so she was watching, maybe it was like him with Shane. I can't remember, but she saw like his meals.
Yeah.
And she was just like, she was in shock. She's like, he is so malnourished. That's why he eats all that candy and he drinks all the Red Bull because he doesn't have enough calories. He's not getting enough from food. That's why he has candy. Because he had to like, I don't know if it was one of his old house tours, but I don't remember he had candy set up everywhere.
Yeah.
And so she was saying like, that makes sense because he's probably starving. And the candy like gives you a little bit of a sugar rush because he's eating Taco Bell, he's drinking Red Bull.
Right.
And, I mean, we're only seeing a portion, but considering how skinny he is, it's pretty safe to say he's probably not eating
and
the healthiest of diets.
Yeah. And like honestly, like if you just look at the grand scheme of things, like it's truly just sad. Everything about him, it's sad. And now I'm not saying I feel bad for him, but it's you just sit back. I remember Peter said something and it was shady, but I don't know if Peter was meaning to be shady, but it definitely came off as shady because he was just like, I just couldn't imagine just being alone in that empty mansion all by yourself. And I was like,
I remember that. Yes. No, he said it twice. So I think he said it in another video. So I think he did mean to be shady. But it's true because remember when he bought the mansion, he was still with Nate. So I don't think he expected to be alone. Like he was gonna be with Nate and then move in all his staff that he pays to be his friends.
Right.
And live there. But I don't think he envisioned having a house that size and that empty.
Nobody would be there. And then on top of it, I mean, there is Corona. I mean,
yeah, we're all alone.
Not that that's stopping anybody.
Yeah, we're all alone in our own ways, but yeah, it is kind of sad because I feel like that house he bought for show, right? Because if he was going to be alone, he wouldn't need a house that size. Right? Like, I mean, I don't know where James lives, but his house seems more like fitting for a single person.
Right.
I don't know if like when he shows it on his TikToks or whatever, like it just looks like a big house, but it doesn't look crazy. Like, it doesn't look like a massive mansion.
Right.
It just looks like a home that like a young guy could live in, have a couple, spare bedrooms for his friends, and like that's it. But it's like it still looks reasonable. This it feels like he just did this to show like, hey everybody, look how rich I am with this massive house, and look what I have, and look what I've accomplished. And for what? Like, I don't.
It's sad. Like at the end of
it is sad.
It's sad. But I can't feel bad for somebody who is so overtly racist and still refuses to apologize. Like, how hard is it to apologize to Makeup Shayla? How hard is it to apologize to Jackie Ayanna? Like, he's never given the people who deserve apologies. And all he does is he just surrounds himself around another Black person, hence Jonathan. That's all he does. He just surrounds himself around another Black person. So racist white people can be like, see, he's not racist. Look at him and this Black, he let a Black person touch his head. He's not. It's like, okay, this isn't the 1960s where like, where like if a Black person gets in a pool, you guys think it's,
right. You have to drain the pool.
You have to drain the pool. And that's the other thing. This only happened. I mean, segregation. My mom lived during segregation. My mom is only 64 years old. Like,
right. I know. My mom's 67. So
yeah, people are like, it was so long ago. And it's like, but was it really? Or I hate when people say,
no,
your ancestors. And I'm like, you mean my grandparents? Like, those are, no, like, you mean like my ancestors that, were slaves. That you just make it seem like it was just so long ago. And it's just like, honestly, it wasn't. It was not that long ago.
It was not. There are people, right? Because my grandmother, if you think, it was her great grandmother that was born into slavery, right? So it's not that long ago. Like, the people that we know people who knew people who were slaves. Like, it's really not that long ago.
Nope.
So it's just, it's crazy to me that we're expected to just forget about it when we, like, I've heard stories about it growing up. So to me, it was never that long ago.
No, never. Like, my mom was just telling me, some stories that, that's for another day. But my mom was just telling me some stories and I was just like, that's wild. Like, so she moved from Alabama to California when she was like 12, and they had to, it was her and her 6 siblings. It was her 6 siblings, her mom and her dad. And they drove from Alabama to California, but they couldn't stop at stay at hotels because they weren't letting Black people stay in hotels.
Right.
My mom's 64. Like this.
Right.
So for you to tell me that racism now does not still exist when racist people who were taught to be racist are still alive, like, Shona says my dad wasn't allowed in some places and denied services in others, and it's like, exactly. And then it never ended. It became the prison industrial complex. Yes, like, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It never ended, and then it just became, oh, well, then we're just going to police Black people more. We're just going to police Black people, and we're going to make Black people seem that they're more, that they're inherently violent, or they're inherently dumb, or inherently criminal. And it's, I don't know. And then you have people, and that's why I pointed out in my video that the reason why I go so hard against Jeffree is because it's people like him that keep racism alive, because he's making it seem as like, oh no, I'm not racist, but it's like, dog, you are. People think, and because you have such a huge platform, people think it's okay to behave the way that you behave, and that's the whole cycle,
And if I can't tell you how many times I've seen people online saying, well, gorilla isn't a racist term, or well, she looks like a gorilla, or what I mean, like they've normalized comparing Black people to animals,
normalized
because he did it,
right.
Like, you know, and they defend it. I've seen people defend it. It's so
Yeah.
disgusting, but they will defend it because he did it, and they think, oh, it's fine.
Yep. Oh my
And
gosh, it's just disgusting. It's so disgusting.
absolutely disgusting. It's, yeah, I'm so frustrated by the whole thing. I'm glad for the shift right now, but it's been frustrating, and especially having, you know, being gaslit by you know, other channels that know
those channels
that absolutely know better, but you know, payroll is sweet, so
yeah. And to me, you're right, racism is more than just saying the N-word hard R. And I hate to point out racism, even if it's subtle racism, or you know, it doesn't have to be N-word. Yeah. When you point out a microaggression, people will be like, well, that wasn't racist. Yes, it was. I'm not saying that you are racist, but what you said was racist, you know? And I've had to, I mean, I've had to stick up for little brown girls who don't know how to stick up for themselves around a group of white people. And then all of a sudden, I'm the problem. I was the angry Black person, you know? And it's just like, it happens all the time, you know? I'm always the problem when it comes to being around a group of white people, but it's never the white people.
Yeah.
So, we all, like, you know, we all know.
All been there.
We've all been through it.
And it's frustrating that it's now the beauty community. Oh my gosh. Someone's like drag racing. But it's like, it's frustrating to me that the beauty community has to deal with this. Like, this is not what I want. Like, how did we get to this place? Like, this is what we're talking, you know what I mean? Like, why is like a racist at the top spot? Well, he's not anymore, thank God. But like, why was a racist at the top of the beauty community, normalizing all of this stuff and making it okay to behave this way? Like, that's the thing that was just frustrating for the past, I guess, 3 years. Yeah, that's what it felt like. Just why, you know? Especially when there's people like Ayanna, like, I like Makeup Shayla. I know people have their feelings about her. I love problem with her. I know. You
don't watch her.
Yes. Okay. But I mean, there's her. But I mean, like, there's channels like hers who. Okay, Nima Tang. She's very unfollowed.
There we go.
Right?
There we go. Nima.
Why aren't they the ones, right, that are getting the attention? Because they're not in drama. They're literally just putting on products, doing reviews, and doing tutorials.
Like, if you think about it, what are we gonna say? Like, what are we gonna talk about when it comes to Nima? You know, there's no stories on her, and the people who know all about Nima are the people who watch Nima. And I can make a video about Nima, whatever, you know, because she just recently moved to, I think, Texas or something like that. People don't care.
She's from Texas, I think.
Okay, because I think she moved. I think because wasn't she in California, and I think she moved back to Texas.
Oh, she did. Okay.
I don't know. This is
yeah, I know she was moving to LA, but then maybe she moved back to Texas.
Okay.
It's probably just as easy to live. It's probably easier to live in Texas, but yeah, I know. If you made that video, no one would watch it because
no one would watch it, you know. And I hate when people say things like you only make this for views. Well, isn't that why anybody makes YouTube videos?
I want people to watch it. Otherwise, I would just talk to my friends. Like,
right. I would just call my friends and be like, hey, let's have a conversation.
Right. Let's jump on Discord. Like, and
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with having discussions on Discord.
Yeah.
But for somebody to say you're only making this so that people will watch, you're absolutely
I am.
You're
I absolutely am. but I think it's I guess it's frustrating. I know that. I guess what I'm trying to say is I wish that the community wasn't just about drama, that like we did have news about other things, so that there was one place to go for news, so that I don't have to go to everyone's feeds and I'd be like, oh, I'll click on this channel and they'll tell me about Jackie's candles, about Desi's whatever palettes, about Robbie Christie's palette, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd like to just
being pregnant, like all these amazing,
like all these things. Desi being pregnant, like
that's right,
fertility, all that stuff. Like, that's exciting stuff. Yeah. And I'm gonna throw some shade, but I know they're the bully channels. they don't even know who those people are.
No,
when they were doing their they did like a collab, and one of them brought up a few channels, and the other two were like, huh? Because they don't wear they're only hyper focused on Jeffree and Shane, right, and promoting them, and they have no clue who anybody else is, like, at all. Like, you think after like 2 or 3 years of making videos, you would have heard of a few of these people who have millions. Like, Desi has what, like 5 million subscribers? You've never heard of her? Like, what?
Like, yeah, because they don't care about the makeup. They do not care about the makeup. They don't. They
not at all. Not at all. So it's kind of funny to me that. But yeah, that's I think a part of the problem too. When you don't wear makeup and you don't care about the makeup, but you're only here for the drama, then yeah, you want the drama to perpetuate, and you're gonna perpetuate the drama because there's nothing. There's nothing else here for you. But I feel like it brought in a lot of negativity as well, because the people who are just here for the drama are fueling the drama and pushing the drama above the other stuff.
Do you remember what was it, like a week or 2 weeks ago, when Sanders Kennedy tried to bring up drama about Samantha Ravindal? And I'm like, first of all, Samantha, like, yeah, what she did was wrong, but Samantha is literally the most like, she just gets on camera and just does makeup and makes a few jokes here and there, and that's it. And I just, Audra, oh my God, hi Audra, and yes, can Black women live? But I remember the first time I had heard about Samantha, it was because she was talking about PR and how she stopped accepting PR because, you know, the packaging, you know, it was ridiculous. And it was one of those things where it became like super flashy. So it was like, notice me, so that you'll look at it and this, that, and the other. And I was just like, it was such a positive video. And I was like, oh my gosh, everybody needs to, well, not everybody, but a lot of bigger YouTubers need to stop accepting PR, you know? They need to do the same thing. And if she's talking about something like this on her channel, then obviously, like, she doesn't care about anybody's type of drama.
No, she's not in drama, like, ever.
Not even a little bit. Then Sanders was like, oh, I found out about, you know, Samantha doing blackface and this, that, and the other. And to be honest, I didn't even know that she had done blackface.
I did know.
No, nor would, there's certain people where they'd go, oh, they did blackface. I'd be like, not surprised, you know?
Right.
I was like, ooh, that's kind of shocking. However, she did the right thing. Like, she did a good apology, and she's changed, because I think that was just one stupid thing that she did. She didn't build her platform off of blackface like like another certain person. She built her platform off of doing makeup. That's how she built her platform. She did blackface one time and she corrected it, and she's never gone back since. And she hasn't been problematic since. But I don't know.
Yeah, and the need to like fuel this drama.
Yeah.
He had to dig up something that was not necessary.
Right.
And she had addressed it. And I've been following her for a long time just because she's a Canadian YouTuber. Right. So for me, I kind of want people that have products that I can get. So she does that as well, because there's stuff that we can't get here. We can't import it if they don't ship, whatever. So she was someone that I was already following. And I found out she had done like a Black Lives Matter video, like way back in like 2016. She'd done like the Black owned makeup challenge. And so she was already doing the work like way back in 2017 when I found her. So I'm really surprised that he would pull this up when knowing that she already has this history of, you know, that she'd apologized and that she was doing the work and she was educating herself and she was being an ally. And he just ignored all of that other stuff that's on her channel that he could have pulled up. And he picked the one thing that he found on Reddit, like from 2014 or something. And why would you go to those lengths? And it's like, this is what's annoying me with those, that genre, right, of channel, is like, that's the only thing that they have to keep going. But it's like to the detriment of of actually the influencers and to us, because like it's just fueling this drama that's not there.
Right.
And creating drama.
Right. And don't get me wrong, like, I mean, I feel like everybody likes drama.
But for sure, obviously.
I love drama, but I'm not going to perpetuate it, and I'm not going to try to make it as, you know, I don't know. I'm just not out there like actively looking for it. And I talk about other things on my channel. I don't just talk about, oh, thanks for the super.
Oh, thanks, Karen. It's not mine, but
but
yeah, but it's just when drama is the whole thing, right? Because remember when we start, like when I joined the community, there was still people. They were still talking about things. Remember, like when Tarte Shape Tape had the horrible the launch, right? Like people covered that, like things like that took a backseat to all this drama. Like there was actually makeup that like they were reporting on makeup and things going on with makeup and with other influencers around makeup when new releases were getting right. We're getting when people are doing collabs, like those were getting, like when Jaclyn Hill was releasing with Becca and all those like all those highlights she was doing, like those were things that we were seeing, right? Like so there was still a balance of the drama with like the stuff that we wanted to find out about, like what's coming up next. So I always knew what was coming up, but then that took a backseat to all this drama-geddon, and then you know what I mean, like people getting canceled, and I just feel like. Right, like the last 2 years, the makeup went out the window, and it's just been about just this negativity, just, you know what I mean, perpetuating the negative cycles.
Yeah, yeah, and maybe that's something that the both of us and you know, and Tanisha, because I know all of us, like we all like the drama, but we also do commentary, and we actually like makeup. Like maybe that's something that we can start focusing on, you know, because. Not a lot of people know that Jackie, I mean, yeah, maybe they've seen like the Forever Mood thing, but maybe a lot of people don't know that it's Jackie that's doing it. And,
that's true.
You know,
yeah,
and
that's true.
Maybe there are people out there. I mean, there's a whole candle community. Maybe, you know, you can make a clickbait title about that and talk about, you know, and get Jackie some.
Yeah, there is. They're very vicious, apparently. They're very vicious in the candle community, apparently. I don't know if that's true, but
I don't know either. But
yeah, no, you're right. Like that is something that maybe we can focus on that again.
Right. Because those are things that need to be focused on. I mean, honestly, who talked about Patrick Star and, you know.
Yeah, like those were the things. I remember Rich Lux used to be the person I used to watch for that. When Patrick had all of his collabs, he always showed the promos for that. Jaclyn had her highlighters.
Always.
Any palettes coming out. And he would buy them and he would review, because he was not on PR, obviously, at that point. So he would buy them and he would review them. And like, I liked that because there was one person that I could go to before, right? Or one channel or two channels where they would say, hey, he'd get the palette, he'd swatch it, whatever. And like, I like that.
Yeah.
It was all just comprehensive in one spot. And then when, you know, he made that connection with the demon.
Oh God.
It just, that ended.
I feel like, I don't know, not everybody, but people who are avid Rich Lux watchers, I know they still remember the moment where like your heart just sank when he was like, because I remember he said, you know, if I meet Jeffree and he's, you know, not this, and if he's this and he's that, he's like, I will never talk or
I'll distance myself. He said if it's true, if the text messages are true,
right,
I will cut off all ties. I will distance myself. I will not be friends with a racist.
Right. And then he got on camera and said, I mean, even if he is racist.
No, that was before.
It was?
It actually was before. Because that happened during Dramageddon. That happened during Dramageddon. So that was August, I think, of 2018. And when the text messages came out, it was October, November.
Okay.
So this was after he got all the flag. And he said, okay, that's when he was trying to still save himself. And he said, okay, if it comes out that this is true,
yeah,
I will cut off all ties. But it was too late at that point. He
yeah,
already knew he wasn't going to.
yeah.
I mean, and I rewatched those videos because I think I might make a video on like Jeffree's victims. I think maybe that should be like we because it was so spaced out over 3 years, it's hard to actually realize how many people he's attacked. Right, that he's tried to destroy, that he's come after. It's not just James. Like there's a list of people.
A list, a full list. And
when I was watching David's video, like, and he was showing his phone, and I'm thinking, okay, what more do we need? Like, I don't understand why people were like, it's a fake phone with a fake app put into the. Who goes to all this trouble?
It, especially like how it was laid out when Sam did that video. I mean,
I watched her video again too. I watched his video and I watched her video.
I mean, she laid it out perfectly. It was like, this day at this time, Jeffree said this. This day, this time, David deleted a tweet or an Instagram post.
Right, yes.
This day, this time, this day, this time. It was lined up perfectly. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't even think a genius could do something that comprehensive. I mean, but here's
fake all the posts and all the tweets. So what, he faked doing Jackie's hair? Like, they were like so ridiculous. And it was for the shoot for I think it was for her collab with somebody. I feel like it was the highlighters. I feel like
I'm actually wearing that highlighter today.
Oh, I'm so sad. They didn't have it in Canada. They didn't ship it to Canada, but anyways.
I lost my LeBrons.
I couldn't get it, but I think that was the shoot. He said which one it was, but I can't. But it was one of those. So like, let's be real about this, right? Like, he set it up. So Jackie got a collab, and he did her hair, and he posted the picture, and then Jeffree called her gorilla, and then he had a fake phone. And then, come on, people! Like the mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's crazy how now all of a sudden they're like, well, now that I think about it, messages were probably real. And I'm like, how could you not think they were real? If you watch Sam's video and you came out going, I still don't believe it.
The phone was too. The phone. What did
they were? The phone was moldy.
Yes, a moldy phone. Which, listen, a moldy phone does not turn on because there's water damage. Like, can we think things through? Like, words have meanings, right?
Right.
If a phone, the screen was cracked because remember back then, like, phone screens were trash.
Right, and we didn't have case, we didn't
have cases, we didn't have screen covers. The thing cracked every other month, every time you dropped it. And so he got rid
black on the inside where like you could see the full text. Y'all remember how phones were?
Yes. Like, you didn't have a phone. Like, come on, everybody needs to stop. But like, I remember watching his video and the way he laid it out, and he showed it, and he was like, he went into the phone, and he went out of the phone, then he went back into the phone, then he like, he did a word search, and then like the messages came up, and I'm like, okay, an app doesn't do that. An app will show you a fake screen. An app doesn't like allow you to search and go into other messages and click on profiles and like make phone calls. Like, listen, I don't know what these people wanted. Like, literally, if you come for Jeffree, you need it like notarized by a judge. It needs to be like all, you know what I mean? Your criminal history needs to be like brought into the question. Like, it's so damn ridiculous. But he can say anything. Yeah. Anything he wants. And then that was actually when I started my channel because every drama channel talked about David Scissorhands. And I was like, okay, cool. So when Sam put out her video, right? Not a peep. And I was just like, and we were already friends at that time. And I kept going, am I crazy? Like, I cannot be the only person that's just like, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense. Like, nobody's done a follow-up video. And the thing is even if you didn't believe Sam,
Even if you
Right.
did not believe her video, you, like, this is your job to go back and talk about what happened, you know?
Right.
Because I feel like some of them, and I could be wrong, but I feel like some of them were saying like, oh, if somebody can prove that these text messages are real, then
They all said it.
But they didn't do anything. They didn't even talk about it.
But they didn't even try to prove it was real. Like, Sam wasn't the only person
Right.
who could have done the research. Like, that's the part that was weird. It was
Right.
like, okay, well, she did it, so let's just move on. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't believe it, like, what's stopping you from reaching out to him? What's stopping anybody
Right.
from doing their own research, right? And doing their own test with a phone, with an Android, with an Apple. Like,
Right.
like, nothing stopped anybody else from doing their own research. They just washed their hands of it.
Right.
And moved on.
And that was,
I mean, we know why.
Right. We
know why. Like, you and I, we know why.
And that part is, there's a lot of their followers, and AWOL, I don't know if she's still in here, but she's one of the ones that would watch all their videos.
Oh,
and she wasn't on Twitter. So when the whole David thing came out, and you know, they were like, oh, you know, David said this and we think the text messages are fake, but they never followed up. So of course everybody's just like, oh, well then the text messages probably were fake because they never followed up to their YouTube audience, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of people on YouTube that aren't on Twitter or that aren't on Instagram or any other social media. And so they start to believe everything that they say. And so when AWOL got to Twitter, she was like, I am she was like, I am disgusted. And she also has a channel.
Oh, yes, she does.
Yeah. So make sure you guys follow her too. Oh, hi. Yeah. So make sure you guys go follow her too. But I will never forget, she was just like, I am disgusted. She's like, I cannot believe that I used to just listen to these people at face value, but they never gave you a reason not to listen to them. You know what I mean? There was,
and what was interesting was they just dropped it. And normally when something isn't true or Jeffree wants to dispel something, he gives a statement or he would do a Snapchat rant, something. He was silent. The only thing I found was like a shady tweet saying, oh, some people just want clout. That was it. He did not say, this did not happen. Nope. I did not call her. Like, he said nothing. He said nothing.
Yeah, nothing about that video.
Nothing, which is not like him. And I couldn't believe that they didn't take that as a sign of guilt. That like, even the channels that were on the payroll didn't come out saying, hey, he says it's not true. Take it back. Like, nothing. He didn't even give them anything. He just told them to shut up.
Say, if a person is silent, they're guilty. Didn't he say that himself?
Yeah. Oh, he said that. He said that months prior, but of course we forget those things, right?
Well, yeah.
But and the funny thing was, even before those text messages came out, right before that, Thomas Halbert. So Thomas Halbert did his video, which I was able to find someone re-uploaded that. And that was a month before. And look how he came out. He did a Snapchat rant. He had screenshots. He got Nikki tutorials to get online. He was like beating the drum, right? And beating his chest that he didn't do this. The gorilla text come out, silent. And nobody sees the difference that he did not defend himself, that he was just like, listen, everybody, just let this blow off, right? Like, his biggest cheerleaders were dead silent, and we all waited, right? Like, if it's fake.
I waited 3 days. But I wait because you know how some of those drama channels are. I mean, something would happen and then like 10 minutes later there'd be a video and I'm like, whoa, wait, I haven't.
Well, we know why.
I'm so confused. Some people have been videos. So when Sam posted that video, I mean, I was like this, just waiting on YouTube, like, okay.
Yes, I remember.
And I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, it's the weekend. Maybe people, and this was, pre-Rona. So maybe people were out having fun. I don't know. And I was like, okay, well, it's Sunday. Then Monday came and I was just like, okay, like
wait a minute.
I was like, cause y'all really just ain't gonna say nothing, huh? So.
Listen, and that video is iconic. Everybody needs to watch it. But it is, because like literally to this day, I see people saying, "Oh yeah, payroll this, payroll that." I'm like, him. Sharita was the one.
Oh my God.
The balls. The only one who had the balls to even call it payroll. We knew what it was.
Right.
And then Jeffree Star's not paying me money.
And I was like, that's not, and if you watch that video, not once in that
not once
did I say,
no one has ever said that. But I love how they play that little semantics game. Jeffree's not paying us. Everyone goes, okay, let's move on now. No. I'm glad. Thank God, one of them had integrity. Ashley.
Yes, thank God.
Finally, to say, okay, yes, it was true. We were playing in your faces for the past 2 years. You called it out.
Right.
We lied. Right. We knew what it was. Everybody was not money.
Yeah.
It was never money. We're not dumb enough to think that he would leave a paper trail. We're not stupid.
Right.
Like maybe
right. Like
over here on this side, we're not stupid.
None of that. Like, because
none of that.
Jeffree's not stupid. Jeffree is not
a fool. Listen, on this side, we're not stupid. We know how this works. We knew that it was receipts, voice notes, right? It was retweets, it was likes, it was shout outs, right? Reposts, $37,000 later. He didn't need to cut her a check, right?
YouTube did it for him.
So, like, we're not idiots. Like, I can't listen. That video, and I'm so glad you did a follow-up to that video, because it needed to be said. It needs to be said. Like, stop playing in our faces. Like, we know what's going on. When we saw you all be dead silent and just move on, and then just everything that he did was just amazing. Oh, pallets full of hair? Oh, there's no hair. There's 3 pallets. Really? Because I saw a minimum 2 pallets on Twitter.
I minimum, because they were like, well, I'm not going to talk about it because it's not widespread. One person found a hair in the Jaclyn Hill lipstick. The first person. No. When I tell you there were about 5 videos, there were
instantaneously.
It was just like that. And I'm like, I mean, now granted, it needed, I mean, I guess it should have been talked about.
But not until, I mean, everyone started receiving theirs, right? Because the PR packages were good.
We're fine.
So those videos were coming out fine until Raw Beauty Christie had the one that was looking a little funny. So she decided to put it under the microscope.
Or Nima Tang, but Nima did hers before, like, all the drama.
Hers were fine.
No, but I remember, like, a couple swatches she would put on, and she'd go, "Oh, there's a little hair." It was so cute. She's like, "Oh, it's a little hair," and she's like,
"Same with Christy." She's like, "There's some." Christy was like, "There's like a bump in here." So she's like, "You know what? Let me just pull out my." It was not malicious. She was just like, "Listen, it looks like a bubble." Yeah, she was like, "It looks like a bubble, like an air bubble, but I can't see it. So let me just get my microscope." I'll put it under and let me just see what it is, like just to make sure.
Right.
And then when she saw it, it was like hardened.
Yeah. Like whatever.
Crystals. And so she pulled out all the other ones, and then there was hairs, and like it was like it just kept getting progressively worse.
Right.
But that was not malicious. And even I know she did a follow-up video, and she was like, she was literally like, she felt so horrible. She said, like, this was not my intention to like crash her brand. This was not my intention to shame her. She was like, I'm so sorry. Like, she's like, I'm not going to take the video down, but like she was apologizing for like how it blew up.
Right. For how other people were treating it. And y'all, there was a literal scientist. She's like a biophysicist. I don't know. Homegirl has a lab coat. That's all I know.
Yes.
I'm going to order these lipsticks and I'm going to do my own scientific experiment. I mean, she had...
it was bad.
But there was a whole Twitter account dedicated to Jeffree Star's mystery boxes and moldy lipsticks and, you know, and the hairs and the palettes. Not a word from a drama channel. And I made videos, and those videos, hey Emily, those videos were even to this day haven't even broken like 1,000 views.
They didn't want to hear it.
And
they did not want to hear it.
Like, what? And the whole thing is, I'm not trying to say that like, oh, Jeffree did this on purpose or whatever. But if you're going to talk about Jacqueline having hairs in her lipsticks when after you only saw one hairy lipstick, you saw one hairy lipstick and you made 10 videos. But there's a whole Twitter account, and I mean, people like showing, and they're just like, oh my, I mean, like the oil was pooling from the liquid lipsticks. It was so gross. And silence. Even Jeffree's his Morphe brushes. People were like, do you not see my brushes? And the brushes were
fanned out.
Yeah. And
after
then,
like one wash.
Yeah, after one wash, and then like some of them had like popped off, like the glue came off. Nothing. Nobody was saying anything. And that's why I was just like, okay, so you guys still want to say that there's no payroll. These people are deliberately not talking. Like, if you talk about Jacqueline for doing it, which Jacqueline, in my, and this is just my opinion, I don't think Jacqueline is problematic. Like, she might lie.
Yeah.
I mean,
but, like, it's not a big, like, she's not hurting people. You know
but I
what
also feel like she's being lied to.
I feel like she doesn't do her due diligence.
Right.
You know what I mean? At the same time, like, if your stuff is it, you really should be on top of that. There, in business, you know, there's quality control. There's a whole setup that I feel like she was just not paying attention to, because those are the things that there are teams dedicated to that, and they bring those reports to you, right? So they'd be saying, hey, we're finding fibers. Hey, we're finding hairs. Hey, there's issues, right? Because there's supposed to be these checkpoints set up for products. And even just for sale, like, that have to be met. So I'm sure at some point they were failing these checks. Of course. And somebody decided to just say, hey, let's just take, right? Because you're allowed to have a certain amount of foreign, right? Because of whatever. So maybe they just thought, hey, it's probably not enough to be to be harmful, or maybe only a few people will get back, but like the majority of people will be fine. Like, maybe, I don't know, but I feel like she wasn't on top of it enough that, like, these are the things that she should have been aware of. Do you know what I mean? Like, that were happening. And like, when she's saying, oh, they're wiping it with gloves, and like, all that stuff should have been happening on the back end already. Do you know what I mean? Like, those reports should have already been coming to her. So I feel like she is kind of lazy in that way. Like, she wants to run a business, but she doesn't want to do all the work involved.
Right.
When it's her face on the line. And I think, you know, she was kind of lucky before, because it was always Becca's fault. It was Morphe's fault. It was, you know what I mean? So she didn't really have to do all the work, because it was just her face. There was always a team behind her that were supposed to be doing these things.
But when it was Jacqueline herself, and that's the other thing that I don't understand, is Jeffree is, besides his Morphe brushes, it's always been Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And even, I mean, his mystery box, every single one successful mystery box.
No, they're disgusting.
One. I mean,
disgusting.
Because they're all old. And then even his latest one, where they were like, oh, you can, you know, you pay for this and you get a special
stickers.
It was a sticker. and then, you know, of course, Jeffree was like, well, I mean, this is custom, and nobody cares if it's custom. Nobody's trying to pay $95 for a sticker sheet.
Yeah, like, just foolish, right? Like, I'm surprised that people don't open them up and they're like full of dust and cobwebs. Like, it's literally just like the old junk that he has that he couldn't sell, and he sticks it in.
Like, because remember how many bright pink highlighters
that nobody wanted?
People were getting. People were like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Like, nobody wanted those for a reason, but because it's a mystery box, all of a sudden they want it.
And they think.
It's very bizarre to me. Even I don't know if you remember. I because I think it was early on. I feel like it was like 2017 when he had his liquid lipsticks and they had mold in the bottom.
Yes. Ugh. Ugh. And nobody talked about it.
Nobody. Like, no, so maybe it was 2018, but he got away with so much. Yep. So much. I mean, even those conspiracy palettes, if Jacqueline's name was on those, if Jane's name was on those, and stuff was coming out like that, a million videos.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Not people coming on camera saying, oh, I heard it was only 9 palettes. Or, yeah, remember what he said on his snap? It was only 9. Well, those crazy fingers, right? It was only 9 palettes.
Clack, click, clack.
Right. No, it was 9 palettes that had hair. Sir, no.
First of all, if it was 9, how many did you make? Only like 100? Like, there's no way that.
Yeah, it was not 9. Yeah. It was not. Listen, when there were Twitter accounts dedicated to reposting people, and I think I know someone made a video. I feel like it was Georgia, maybe. Okay. And she counted them all, and she had over 200 screenshots.
Yeah, you know what? I think
so. And that was just what she found, and I'm sure she was overwhelmed. Like, I'm sure there was way more than 200, but if she was able to sit down and physically count 200, and then you're gonna get on camera and say it was only 9. Nah, it shouldn't even be 1, but it was not. Like, get out of our face. Like, I'm just.
And people believed him.
People believed him every time. Yeah, sure, it was 9 palettes. Even though you're seeing people post.
And that's not even the people who are not on Twitter. Like, imagine the people who only sit into, whatever, into
Instagram or Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah.
Or just the people who just called customer service who weren't like, oh, I'm going to tweet this, right? That just thought, let me just handle this.
But my favorite is when Jeffree would say things like, you should have emailed customer service. And then they come back with receipts and they're like, well, I did, but you guys never got back to me. Blocked. And it's like,
yes, people were legit blocked.
This is somebody who supported you.
And I heard people saying they never got their money back and they just gave up because they were just so frustrated and him like not responding that they just gave up. So it's like, I don't understand then how his stands are still looking at him in his big mansion and saying, oh, this is so wonderful and look at him and da-da-da. Meanwhile, he stole people's money. Like, right? Like, they got defective products. He never replied, never returned, like never gave them returns, never returned their money. And it's fine with that. And this is like a pattern. And I actually saw somebody tweet that I don't know if it was a response to me or somebody else, but they were saying how they ordered a lot. They ordered like $200 worth of stuff. Their order never came. They contacted him, like everything, blocked, didn't, and they said they just gave up. They were like, oh, wow. Like, I'll just chalk it up to, I'll just unfollow him.
Right.
But they said, like, that was a lot of money that they spent. It wasn't just a few things. It was just just like a lip gloss or this was like palettes and highlighters. And like, they put in a substantial order and they said they got nothing. No tracking. Like, the order just disappeared and they never even bothered to contact them.
Right.
And I saw that a lot, actually. Like, people saying that was like a very common occurrence for his site. And the funny thing is, but he knows that those few people will unfollow, but like the rest will still.
Right.
Like,
right. Like, it's hard to run a business. I'll just try again next time.
What? His dog died, don't you know? Right. He ran a business when his dog. Like, hi. This is how you know people don't function in the real world. Like, all of us endure tragedies in life and don't stop functioning. Right? Like, we don't stop going to work. We don't stop being parents. We don't we don't stop living life and running a business because one thing happened like 3 weeks earlier. Do you know what I mean? And even so, like, even say, okay, we'll give him that he's grieving his dog. He doesn't have a team. Like, is he personally answering the emails? Is he personally sending it? Like, he doesn't have a team to, right? Like, he has a fulfillment center. Like, right? So why is it? Why is it him?
It makes sense. And then remember the mirror girl, the girl who so
okay, I kind of
so Ashley Kyle, again, Ashley is the only person who made a video about this. And I mean, now granted, I didn't make the video only because Ashley like personally talked to this girl and whatever. And again, like Ashley has a way more subscribers than I do. So even if I made a video about it, I feel like people may, I don't know. And I don't know, whatever. People who follow me know how Jeffree Star is. So it wasn't surprising. So that mirror girl, like, you know, she makes, you know, she blings out mirrors and, you know, the Jeffree Star mirrors. And, you know, she made him a 4th of July one, I want to say it was. And I think, what did he say? That he was going to send her the conspiracy PR package or something. He was going to send her something in return. And so she sent the mirror and nothing back, and would like message him and be like, hey, not to be a pest, but no. And he wouldn't say anything. Okay, hey, like I saw that you replied to somebody on Twitter, but you haven't said to me, you know, just like she was so nice.
Polite. She was very polite.
Oh my God, just so polite. And then all of a sudden it was like I just felt like he pulled a like, do you know who I am type person. I'm like, do you know who I am? Do you know what I do? Like, I don't need to be at your every beck and call. And it's like, okay, but it's been like 2 months. So
yeah, exactly. So then he was so rude. He was like, fine, I'll just pay you for it.
Right. But I think he ended up just sending it back or something. Because
because I think she said it was like over $200 like for the mirror. And he was like, fine.
Palette. Okay, there it is. It was a cremated palette.
Oh God, for the cremated.
Like, I know. But I think it was because everybody else was getting their palettes, and she was like, well, where's mine? Like, you said you were gonna send me one. But I think he tried to make that like he was gonna send her PR, but what he sent people were only the palettes or I don't know. Like he was gonna send her the whole package, but the people who were getting it only got the palette. And it's just like, okay, but how hard is it to just throw in a couple lip glosses and just send it with everybody else? So, but yeah, apparently, yeah. And well, you're right. He should have paid her from the beginning. And
for her time.
Yeah.
A cremated palette, like she said it was 200, say it was 250, I think.
Right.
Because of all the crystals and everything.
Yep. And her time.
And her time. The palette was what, $62? Like, why was she reducing herself?
Because she's a Jeffree stan, and she's just like, oh my God, Jeffree's going to. This is her thinking. Jeffree Star is going to use my mirror. People who watch him are going to see it, and then that's going to give her more
business. Yeah, she's trying to run a business.
Right. And I mean, and what she does is great. You know, like her mirrors look good. I don't want it on a Jeffree Star mirror.
Yeah.
But
I kind of feel like, well, you get what you deserve. Like, like, ma'am, you're not new here. You know this is how he treats people. So you sending that, like, I kind of don't feel sorry for you at the same time, because you know, like, this is how he behaves all the time. So you should have just sent it and like moved on about your business. Like,
that's
he was never gonna give you anything for it. Like,
if you get what you get, then cool.
Just send it off. It's a gift, and then move on. Like, yeah. But it is another example, right, of how he treats his stans like absolute garbage.
Yeah.
And they love it. They love it. They absolutely love it.
Couldn't be me. Could not be me.
Ever. And I asked somebody, because there was somebody that something like that happened where they tweeted him and he didn't like their tone, of course, and blocked them. And they were on Twitter crying, oh, he blocked me. I spent $700 on his merch or whatever, right? And I replied and I said, excuse me, but you've seen him do this.
Right.
How many times? Well, I didn't think it would happen to me. And, I felt like they deserved it. Like, all these excuses. Well, they were rude to him and da-da. Okay, you know what? You're a lost cause. You deserve it.
Exactly. That's just like, oh my gosh. That's just like that's just like in relationships. Like when you're sleeping with a married man and he leaves his wife for you. Guess what spot just opened up? Well, he would never do that to me. What makes you think he wouldn't do it to you? Exactly. How you get him is how you lose him. And it's just like, he would never do that to me. So according to who? Like, I want to know that line.
They never think it's gonna happen to them. They always just feel like, well, I respect him. Okay. Like I saw someone literally saying, like, why does everyone have to make fun of me right now? Like, I'm in pain. And I was like, sorry about your luck. Like, you're not new here, so I am going to laugh at you. I'm sorry. Like, you fully did this to yourself. Oh, I know who it was. It was the guy who, I don't know if you remember it. He tried to copy one of his makeup looks. So he's done this a few times, but there was one guy who, I think it was back in the fall. So he tried to copy one of his eye looks. Mm-hmm. And so he posted like a side-by-side and was like, hey, Jeffree, I tried to copy. And Jeffree was like, yeah, I don't think so. Like, nasty, right? Like, I remember that. Right? And then the guy was beside himself, right? Because, of course, we're all laughing at him in the comments. And he was beside himself. And then I don't know how a drama channel jumped in there. And, like, it just got really nasty. Yeah. And this guy was really, really hurt. I thought it was super funny. Like, don't play with fire and be like, oh my God, I got burned. Like, what did you expect was gonna happen? No, but he was like, I thought he would be flattered. Yeah. But instead he was insulted. He was like, oh yeah, Jeffree was like, you could never. He probably said something like that. Yeah, it was something like that. It was like, yeah, I don't think so. Like, it was something super, super rude. Instead of just saying, hey, thank you. Right. Or just going on about his day, right? Or saying, hey, it looks great, right? Like, it didn't have to go to that level of insulting this person. And Jeffree doesn't even do his own makeup. So, like, I don't even know why he's getting on this guy's case. Like, have we seen him do his makeup in forever? No. It's always somebody else doing it. So, yeah. I mean, yeah. I feel like they low-key like the abuse. I do. I feel like they do. I mean, that has to be it. Because it's not like being in an abusive relationship where you, like, are physically tied to that person. Like, you could easily just not watch Jeffree. You know what I mean? Right. I remember seeing, like, the saddest thing. I think someone put this tweet in a video. It was like somebody, like, I think he got blocked by someone got blocked by him. And so they said, I bought $700 worth of, $700. If I can find the video, I'll send it to you. They were like, I bought $700 worth of makeup, merch, everything, right? That launched. And they're like, I'm going to try to get his attention. And this person was tweeting at him, hey, I spent all this money on your merch. Like, please unblock me. Like, everybody tag him. Like, they were dead serious. 700. Like, this is some people's rent money. Right. Right? Like, I'm thinking, like, they thought that if they just spent this exorbitant amount that he would realize, like, how much that he, like they said, like, he'll see how much I love him. Yeah. And, like, this person was already blocked. Oh, like, they were blocked. They were already blocked. So they were saying, like, I'm going to spend this money in hopes that, like, he'll see how loyal I am and unblock them. For an unblock. Like, 700. No. Yeah. Like, I was like, literal, like, this is the level that these people are at. Like, so that's why they will not turn against him. Like, they're so deeply invested at this point that they're not going to go against anything, basically. Right. No, you're not. Right? You're not wrong. You are not wrong. When this is like your plan, okay. I'm gonna take my tax return and I'm gonna put everything on his website, and then he'll love me. That man don't care about nobody but himself. Yeah, but, I mean, this is where they're at. So I don't expect much. True. And I think too, even the videos that I've made, I know it's not for them, right? Like they don't care.
No.
They don't care that there's receipts. They don't care that there's evidence. They don't care that he treats them like crap or that he lies all the time.
Right. Like I was watching this because, like I've said before, I believe that Jeffree Star is a Donald Trump of the beauty community, and I was watching it, and it was, God, what is that man's name? Jordan something. And he was going around interviewing all of these like Trump supporters. And then of course it was like the actual like brain dead Trump supporters that like the interview started with this guy going, you know, I blame Barack Obama for 9/11. He was like, well, why do you believe that? And he's like, well, you know what? He wasn't in office the day that it happened. He was, you know, just like saying all these things. And the guy was like, the interviewer was like, well, why do you think Barack Obama wasn't in office during 9/11? And the guy was like, I'd like to get to the bottom of that. And I'm just like, okay, well, first of all, he wasn't president when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
So of course he wasn't gonna be in office. But they're completely brainwashed. And he asked this one lady, he goes, what would Donald Trump have to do for you to not vote for him? And she's like, oh, I don't care what he does. I'm gonna vote for him regardless.
Exactly.
He was like, so what if he said the N-word? Yeah, Jordan Klepper. What if you said the N-word and like they thought hard about it and they're like, no, I'd still vote for him. And I'm like you've got to be kidding me. Thank you, Tetra. Yeah. And it's just like people are just
they don't care. No, they don't care. They just don't. It's at that bad stage where nothing matters. They just need the flimsiest of excuses to just continue at this point.
Which is why he made that apology video. Because then they can be like, see, he apologized.
And stop bringing up old stuff.
Stop bringing up old stuff. This happened yesterday. It's a new day, you guys. Move on.
I know it happened 20 minutes ago, but let's get over it. Like, can we move on? Stop bringing it up. Literally, it's so bad. It's so bad. But they are the same way. They don't care what he says. They don't care what he does. It just. Sorry, I live near the highway, as you can tell.
Oh no, that's fine. I thought it was a leaf blower.
No, it's nighttime here, so.
Oh yeah, it's still light outside. It's 7:20 here.
Oh no, it's almost 10:30 here.
Yeah. But oh my gosh, yeah, people just. It's worms, like you guys are saying. It's worms for brain. Like it has.
Like literally.
I don't know what else it could be, and like. But I respect people more that are just like, I don't care what he does. I'm still going to support him. And I'm just like, oh, okay. But I hate the people that just try to I mean, what more do you want? He already apologized. And it's like, but he didn't.
He didn't.
Like, I'd rather you say that was a shit apology, but I'm still going to support him. I'd rather somebody say that.
Yeah, just be honest. Just say you don't care.
Right.
And just move on. Like, don't pretend all this other stuff, right? Like, just say it's fine. You don't care. You like his personality. You like all that garbage. You like that he's mean. You like that he's nasty. And just, keep it pushing. Like, that's all.
But please keep the same energy for anybody else. That's just like the, what's it, Miss Lavender? Is that her name?
Lavender Beauty?
Yeah. How she will call anybody out about being racist. Anybody. She's done with shame.
Well, all of a sudden, she's...
Oh. But what about Jeffree? F you, Jeffree has helped me more than... Okay, but can you at least say that...
And for $5,000. Wow.
Yeah.
That's all it took. That's all it took.
Look, it came full circle. $20,000 to do his hair. $5,000.
That's all it took.
That's all it took.
That's all it took.
$5,000. I mean, now granted, if somebody gave me, walked up to my door and was like, "Here's $5,000," I'll take it.
Right.
But I'm not just gonna silence myself over my morals and my beliefs because somebody gave me $5,000.
Right.
Because
twist yourself into a pretzel,
right,
to justify
Oh yeah. Oh, Jeffree's
racism.
Yeah, Jeffree's not just her friend, Nora. Jeffree is like her confidant, and he's gotten her out of so many things.
Her friend. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Her confidant.
Well, I mean, maybe she didn't say that, but she's just using strong words.
Didn't she send him some of her? Does she have lashes? Or I think she sent him some product he might have promoted. I think maybe. Am I wrong? Does the chat?
Well, I'm blocked, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Maybe the chat knows, but I think she sent him some product as well. Which, I mean, where is it on his page?
And even if you promoted it on his page, guess what? People aren't going to buy it from her because she's Black and she's trans. So they're really not going to buy it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, I really wish they would see that the opportunities, like literally all you have to do is go and look at the other, Black people that he exploited.
Cam.
Look at Cam's channel.
Cam Lester. Cam Lester. Cam Lester is an amazing. Oh, he did promote her lashes. Okay, her name's
her lashes. Okay.
If you guys want to put it in the chat, because Emily doesn't know who she is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was her lashes. Okay.
But yeah, like Cam Lester has been like in his campaign. Cam Lester has been on his channel. Cam Lester does not have 1 million subscribers.
Right. He doesn't even have 100,000. He has like 20,000. I'm not laughing at him, but I'm just saying, like, it didn't translate. You've connected yourself to this man with 15 at that time. I think it was 15 million. What's he at? 17, 16 now? Yeah. 16 million, and you can't even get 100,000 off that. You can't scrape off. Not even 1%.
No.
Half
like
of 1%.
A crumb.
A crumb. Even 1% would have been.
Yeah.
He would have been in a different position.
It would have helped so much. But
thank God he finally saw the light.
Oh my, yeah. And Cam's my favorite because he was like, I was out there shucking and jiving for this.
I love that he's just honest about it. Like, he knows what he was doing. And I appreciate that. It takes a lot, especially to come back to the Black community, because we're tough. So to come back and say, hey, I know I was being a little bit, Uncle Tomish for a little while.
Yep.
But please forgive me. Like, that takes a lot. That does take a lot.
And a lot of us were like, you know what? Welcome back.
I said that too. I was like, welcome back. And he has, like, he started to grow from that, because now he's building an authentic audience, right? Like, yeah, he's growing authentically. He's growing because we like his personality, because, people are starting to see who he is, not because of who he's attached to.
With,
right? So I would say, if anything, it worked against him.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if he didn't grow at the rate he probably could have, because... Right, because most of us were not messing with him, and clearly Jeffree's audience was not supporting him.
It's just like this whole Jonathan thing. The whole, he's going to lose out on more than he's going to gain.
Right. Because I don't see what. I see what he's. I see the.
Shut
up. Oh, Vic, yes. Okay, Vic. What did this do for Vic? And I'm not. Yes, thank you, AR. What did this do for Vic? Like, I'm not gonna call shit. What did Irv call?
Oh, the Diamond and Silk.
What did this get him? He has been in hiding, literal hiding, while all this is going down. Silent. He can't show his face because he has nothing. He has nothing to come out and say.
Yeah, he didn't show his face. He didn't like it. He didn't retweet.
Nothing.
He was literally silent.
MIA. So how is this helping him? What did he gain? He sat in that ad for that busted death palette.
Yeah. And
what did he gain? Did he gain even a follower?
No.
And the thing is, I noticed his channel is linked in Jeffree's video.
It is?
Is linked. And he still didn't get any. Like, come on.
Wow.
Come on. Now, if you want to know who those audience is,
right.
Right? Because
Yeah.
that's I mean, he did promo him. I looked just to see if he'd put the people from his ad in the description, and he does have his actual channel in there. So the fact that he's gained nothing,
Okay. But I mean,
shows you who the audience is. So.
Who said that? Emily. Yeah, Emily. Literally, everyone thrives after getting
Yes, Emily. Absolutely.
I mean, Manny is
Lord.
probably the biggest one. I think Manny's the biggest one that has. He lost. I think he lost. I shouldn't say the most because technically James lost the most, but Manny lost the most. And the way that he tried to handle it, you remember when he tried to do like his own docu-series?
I watched it again, and I actually feel bad.
Yeah. So do I. And I was making videos about Manny at that time too.
Because I forgot this part, but he said he was in the hospital.
Oh.
So he had I don't know if he attempted suicide or if he was having a mental break.
Right.
But he was in the hospital, and we made fun of, but you know what I mean? They made fun of him for that.
Yeah.
I'm still in shock because I forgot that part because we didn't take that serious. We were just like, oh, Manny, you're a bad friend. You deserve to die.
Right.
What?
But
what?
Why did we believe that Manny was a bad friend? Because Jeffree said it.
Right.
Manny never did anything.
And was he even a bad friend, or did he just want to get away from a toxic person?
Right.
Right?
Right.
Was he a bad friend, or did he realize, oh my God, I can't be around this person? Maybe he was making a healthy choice for himself. Right? Being around all that toxicity and that negativity daily.
Yeah. Right.
I think that I wonder, Manny, if you're watching,
right.
I'd like to know. I mean, he'll never tell us, but I would like to know if part of that, right? That separation was the toxicity and him wanting to save himself.
Right.
Right? Mentally and emotionally.
And you know what? I feel like Manny could have been the person to try to reason with Jeffree or try to get to him and, or say, I don't know, he probably just said something that Jeffree didn't like, oh, Jeffree, don't talk about that person, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't call people rats.
Right. Well, did you really call Jackie a gorilla? I don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But he was still, I remember even after the video came out, he was still defending him. Because remember he said the worst thing. He said, oh, back then people had a sense of humor. And these days, sense of humor? You gonna call me the N-word?
And I'm supposed to laugh?
I've never laughed. Ever. Ever.
Right.
So I don't know where he got that back then everyone had a sense of humor. Nobody was laughing at that. I don't know what I don't know what Jeffree told him to say, but he was saying some real stupid stuff back then, and maybe it was too much because I feel because it was after that he started distancing himself.
Mm-hmm. And then, do you remember when they put that fake picture? Because everybody was like, I find it weird that and I think that's when it all started with ooh, let's see who follows who. They're still following each other on Instagram. I think that's when.
Yeah, they put the fake picture of them.
And because people were just
together.
Weird that Manny and Jeffree haven't been seen together, and they're best friends. And then maybe a week later, one of them, Jeffree or Manny, posted a picture. I think it was Jeffree, and was "See,
together."
Yeah,
it was. It was one of their. You know what? I think it was it was one of their birthdays. I've been watching old videos. That's why my brain. Trust me, my memory is not that strong. I've been watching all the videos.
No, it was Jeffree's birthday.
It was one of their birthdays, and so people were like, "Oh, that's weird." Manny didn't say happy birthday. Oh my God!
People are drag racing.
Listen, because of COVID, the roads are empty, so people are using it as a drag strip. My God, there's usually police out here though, so I'm surprised. But anyways, so people noticed it more,
right?
And then they posted that fake picture.
Yeah.
And then after that, Manny just kind of slowly tried to exit, and
then all of a sudden it was what happened? And Jeffree was oh, he was a bad friend. Then everybody was cancel Manny.
Yeah, unsubscribe. What?
Like, what for what? Yeah, I felt so bad for him. Oh, and then it didn't help that Manny was in that picture.
Which, you know what? And I have some conspiracies about that picture, because I feel like there was a reason why, like, all of a sudden those tweets came up of Laura. Those tweets had been there the whole time that she was friends with Jeffree.
Yeah.
He knew those tweets existed, I believe. My conspiracy. He knew those tweets were there. And I think he tipped someone to go dig them up. Because that picture, why was that picture so offensive?
Right.
Really? Like, honestly, and if there was no such thing as payroll channels, we know what would have happened. That picture would have been posted. We would have seen it on Twitter. We would have had a laugh.
And that was
2 days later, that would have been the end of it. Everyone would have gone on about their business, right? Yeah. End of story. But instead, someone invented Dramageddon. And next thing we know, we're watching 2 videos a day for 3 weeks. Like,
yeah, literally.
What?
Literally.
It just seems, now looking, it just seems a little suspicious. Just a
little
bit. Just a little contrived, a little bit. Someone was nudged to start a war that went a little too far. Because oh, I know, I didn't even tweet. Oh my gosh.
I love you, Irv. She said, I just realized y'all. Girl, we've been on for 2 hours.
I know. We didn't even like post the links or anything, did we? Oopsie, sorry.
I posted it on my Twitter, and I tagged you.
Oh, did you put it in the Did you put it in the chat? No. Okay. That's probably why.
That's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, I have a little bit of a suspicion. And I was watching a video, and I can't remember who it was, but they had the same suspicion. Oh, maybe it was Luke Alexander. Somebody. They said, hey, I find it suspicious too that, you know, right after that picture was posted, all of a sudden these tweets came out that had been sitting there untouched.
Yeah.
Since 2012.
Yeah. So I mean, you're not wrong.
I don't know.
Maybe that's why, what did he say? Oh, maybe that's the dirt that, you know, Jeffree has on people, is like, he knows like those old tweets or whatever.
The skeletons.
Yeah. The skeletons.
He knows the skeletons.
Because you're right, those tweets had been there for, and then it was very specific, like the Trayvon Martin tweet, like that was very specific.
And even the one about the pants, like how would you know to look for that?
Right.
Like what would you search? Because you could not, there's nothing you could search to find that, right? Like, because you could put N-word, you could put, like slurs, but to put up saggy pants.
Right.
Right? In a search going, back in 2012, who was tweeting about saggy pants, right? Like, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
Little bit, don't you think?
No, it is.
Right? Like, weird. The tweet was really weird to find.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That is weird. I'm like, tinfoil hat.
Right? I don't know. Just because even when people read the tweet, like, you had to kind of know the context of everything. Right. So, like, to search that up is very specific.
And like, and who was the one who first like outed those?
It was an anonymous Twitter user. Like, it was a Twitter user. It was just like an anonymous user. Like, yeah, like, it wasn't like
the person it was like the person who leaked Rich saying the N-word.
Yeah, it was just like a person. It wasn't a channel. It wasn't anybody. It was just like a random Twitter user that just happened to find.
Bye, Audra, love you.
Oh, bye, Audra. Yeah, it was just a random Twitter user that I'd never heard of. Right? It wasn't.
It was one of Jeffree stock accounts.
Yeah, I believe so. I wouldn't be surprised if he hired somebody to just comb through 20,000 tweets to find one tweet about saggy pants, and another tweet about Trayvon Martin. Because I mean, it's just very peculiar.
Yeah.
She wasn't running around using the N-word like Gabriel and the other ones, right? Like
Which again, she deserved to be dragged for those tweets because those,
yeah. I'm
but
listen, it was racist.
I got blocked because of that.
Those tweets were racist. And listen, I already didn't like her, so I'm only cutting her some slack because of the way it came up. But I'll never say that she didn't deserve backlash. But what I don't like is how it was not even. So she said that tweet about the baggy pants, canceled immediately. Jeffree screaming the N-word with his whole chest. Oh, he apologized.
Right.
What?
Right. But then you know what? She didn't make it any better when she got, oh God, the crying. Oh
yeah,
God.
that this is how you know these people don't have PR teams, like that they're just influencers that got lucky, right? and have to figure it out as they go, like every human being.
Right. Like normal people.
But I don't like that what happened to her was so swift and so severe. And the person who did the exact same thing actually worse because
and
even in the same time span, because I think when he made that video it was like 2008. So I mean her tweets were 2012, 4 years, still pretty close, right? Like he's making it sound like, oh my God, it was 20 years ago. Like no, it was not. So if hers was 8 years and yours was 10, right? What are we saying now? Or 12 and yours was right? What are we saying here? So I just want to see it equal. If we're gonna cancel people, make it equal, and then don't cancel people just for being a bad friend. Like that's
because and then they tried to bring up the whole thing about Manny where he was like, oh my God, my Uber driver doesn't speak English. Okay, and like
I know, and he apologized. He did apologize for it.
But that's the thing is that tweet is not problematic. He didn't say like, oh,
go back to your country. Like,
all he said was my Uber driver doesn't speak English, and I mean, I feel like everybody has said something about a language barrier, like. Oh, that was frustrating or whatever, but I don't know. But that was the only thing they could find. That was the only thing that they could find.
Yeah, that was literally the only thing they could find. And it was, I think it was a Snapchat.
Yeah, it was a video.
But I remember he apologized. So they're like, I mean, the same time, right?
I remember.
He apologized like the next day.
Yeah, I remember. The other one was when Jeffree and Manny were doing like a meet and greet together. And the little girl like walked and Manny, okay, to me it looked like Manny was over a hug and the girl just walked right past her. And so Manny was like, ooh, and everybody was like, he made that face because she's autistic.
Oh yeah.
Remember? And I was like,
they were digging.
I was like, are we watching the same video? Because it didn't look like he didn't give a dirty look, she didn't walk by and he didn't go like, oh, it looked like he went to go for like a hug or like a handshake or something.
Yeah, and then she just kind of turned to meet Jeffree. So he was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And like, that was.
It looked like to me, but.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way he explained it.
Right.
And I felt bad for the girl because I feel like she was used because she was saying, oh, I feel embarrassed. I feel slighted, but she never saw it, remember?
Right.
Like, because of the way she turned, she actually didn't see his expression. So they used her also saying, like, to play it up, like, hey, this bad person, he made this girl cry. Meanwhile, she didn't even know because, like you said, she was focused on meeting Jeffree, so she didn't even know.
On Jeffree.
So she just, like, beeline past Manny, and, like, they used that to be like, oh, now he's, he's slighting people. And
she said he filmed a little girl without consent and armchair diagnosed her. What does that mean?
Who?
I think she's talking about Manny.
Manny did?
Yeah.
That girl finessed Jeffree out of makeup. Yeah, she sure did.
Yeah. Jeffree makeup, and I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, I don't. Manny didn't deserve the canceling.
No.
Like you said, they were so small compared to what Jeffree has done and continues to do. You know,
So like literally, a bad friend. You deserve to lose 1 million subscribers.
Nope.
What planet are we on?
I don't know.
This man said the N-word, calling people gorillas, rats, roaches, monk.
Threatened to beat up a girl.
Beat up
a whole woman.
And that was 2017. That was not even.
Yep. Accused Jackie of tax evasion. Never apologized.
Never apologize for that. It goes on and on and on. I mean, by the time he got to James, he thought he was he thought he was the master. He made light work of Manny, so he just figured, hey, I'm gonna roll over this guy too.
Might as well.
Didn't know this guy was a machine though. Right. Meaning he has a team behind him, right? He's got managers, he's got everybody that Manny doesn't have, right?
Right.
So he had the team to build that. Because that video, James did not put that video together. I can tell you what they did was say, whoever PR person, he must have hired Olivia Pope, because I'm sure she said, give me your phone, give me your laptop.
Right. I was
I'm gonna download every single message. We're gonna go through this and we're gonna put together a video.
Absolutely.
By Sunday. Get ready for the script. And
absolutely.
Because the way it was laid out,
it was like a D'Angelo Wallace video.
Listen to me. Somebody downloaded all his messages from the iCloud, or they had to call Sprint or whoever, send them over. Yes. Because we're taking this guy down. Because it was so like, because being as emotional as he was, there was no way he could put that video together that coherently. And there's no way.
He was 19. 19.
Yeah, he was 19.
Do that.
No. There was no way they could put together what he did. That video was. Yeah. It's still iconic.
I still watch it from time to time.
Listen, I want to rewatch it. It was so well done. That's a good lesson in how you get your team to save your behind.
Yep. And then the minute that video went out, people were just like, oh, like maybe we weren't, like because they just believed Jeffree. And then
maybe we should ask for proof when someone calls somebody.
And then James was like, oh, proof? I got your proof.
Yeah. And I feel like because Jeffree didn't have the same team, he couldn't pull it together, right? There was no way he was going to be able to pull it together the way he said, oh, I'm going to do this tomorrow. He didn't have enough time. He didn't have 2 weeks.
No, he didn't have the range.
He didn't have the range. He didn't have 2 weeks. He didn't have Olivia Pope. Like he just said, I'm never doing this again, folks. I'm just going to move on.
Yeah, Emily, we have to find that video, because I don't remember that with the whole Manny thing about him, diagnosing somebody. I don't remember that. So.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that either. But if that's what he did, like this still doesn't deserve to be canceled. Like.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then so Jeffree, he hit a woman no, not a woman, because she was 17. He hit a girl at Toronto Pride, which is why he's no longer allowed
he's still,
to Toronto.
He's still banned to this day.
That's ridiculous.
Like literally, he punched somebody for what? She was looking at him or something?
No. So I guess people were throwing things at him, and and then he just assumed it was her. And so he jumped. I don't know if he jumped off the stage, or he just, because she was close to the stage or something, and he just walked up to her and just socked her in the face or in the head.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that's why he can't.
I mean, he's lucky he wasn't arrested.
Well, I mean, according to him, he's been to jail 3 times, so maybe he was arrested. I don't know.
He is lucky he wasn't arrested because, I mean, once you have a felony, you can't come back here. So,
Oh, got it.
yeah.
Got it. I don't know. But yeah, well, this was fun, Dionne.
This was fun.
This was a lot of fun. I know last week I said I'm going to do more lives, and so that's why I was like, doing a live this week, and so next week I'm going to do another one. I already asked somebody else to do it with me, and you guys will just have to wait to see who it is.
Ooh, excited.
So, but you guys, thank you everybody who just listened to us ramble for like 2.5 hours.
Thanks to everybody. I know, sorry, it's hard for me to see the chat, but thank you to everybody in the chat. I'll probably have to message you all later. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been fun.
It's been a lot of fun. So make sure you guys go subscribe to Dionne.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, because she's listen, we're ready to take over the world. We're gonna be like Jeffree, world domination.
Yes. Like Lady Gaga. No.
Yeah,
no. I'm just kidding. Yeah, my channel name is Dionne Ayanna. Same, but there's a space. But
yeah. Watch out, Philip DeFranco. We're coming for you.
We are. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.